Dominica hosts a 3-day workshop on sustainable energy and climate change. National Abattoir now supplying poultry for local consumption, and government signs contract for supervision of works at the Douglas Charles Airport. Thank you for joining us on another edition of National Focus. I'm Shaakira, Pierre.
And I'm Mervin. Stay with us for details of the headline stories and others after this.
A picture is worth 1,000 words. Got it? Taking care of us can be so easy.
Take good care of the children.
Government has signed a contract for the supervision of ongoing works to rehabilitate the Douglas Charles Airport. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Public Works, Kendall Johnson, signed the contract with Arab Creole Limited on Monday. Chief Technical Officer in the Ministry of Public Works, Emil Lancelot, detailed the ongoing works and explained the role of consultancy.
These works include repair to the free taxiways, drainage rehabilitation, repair to the runway, repair to the wall along the river, as well as construction of an extension to the seawall and a new crossing structure going east from the runway, from the airport actually. Addition to that, there is ongoing fencing works at the airport that is in an advanced stage. But the primary role of the consultant is to supervise the contract which is ongoing with Sotrodom, which is in the value of $30 million. The consultant is expected to represent the government on site in overseeing the works to ensure that it is done in a timely manner and also to ensure that it is done to the standards in terms of quality that is expected. The airport being a very important piece of infrastructure to Dominica, we have to ensure that the works are done to the highest standard.
In more news, stakeholders within the Ministry of Trade, Energy, Employment, along with Health and Environment, National Security and Technology, among others, gathered at the State House to participate in the 3-day workshop on sustainable energy and climate change. The national workshop is funded by the Swedish Energy Agency with support from the Caribbean Community Climate Change Center, CARICOM, and Small Island Development States, SIDSDOC. It is being held under the theme Building Resilience to Climate Change in Islands Through the Energy Sector, North-South Cooperation for Sustainable Energy Development in Island States. The Honorable Prime Minister Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit is the president of the United Nations Registered Organization, SIDSDOC. In his address at the opening ceremony at the workshop, the Honorable Prime Minister stated that in order for small island development states to receive more investments, the high cost of energy must be addressed.
We have to address the foreign exchange that has to leave our countries to pay for the fossil fuel which comes to our country. It's a huge cost. It's a huge amount of monies that we have to export or repatriate to other countries. Monies that we could have remain in our system and use to build and grow our economy. And for us to achieve the 7 and 8 and 10% of growth which we all yearn for, we have to address the issue of the cost of energy.
The Dominica leader disclosed some of the areas Dominica would be receiving assistance from the Swedish Energy Agency.
One is with regards to the abattoir and the waste to energy at the abattoir. The second project has to do with the landfill, and we have a challenge, as Ambassador Henderson indicated. The more we become developed, is the more we consume, you understand? And the landfill, its capacity has been used up. And how do we address this? And one of the ways we'll be addressing this is having a waste to energy project at the landfill, hoping to be financed from the proceeds from our good friends from Sweden through the 5 Cs and SIDSDOC. And the final project has to do with a pig farm located in Lapland. And that project will also be focusing on a waste to energy and to mitigate against the impact, negative impact on the environment. All of these projects will help mitigate against the negative impacts on the environment.
Participants of the workshop will visit the free sites this week. Chair of SIDSDOC, His Excellency Ambassador Dr. Vince Henderson, says the workshop will focus on how SIDS can deploy sustainable energy technologies that will help in the fight against climate change.
So on the one hand, it will help us to reduce our reliance on imported fossil fuel, leaving more resources for us to invest in building climate change resilience. But on the other hand, it will also give us smart technology that can help us to deal with consumption and production in a way that is more sustainable, so that we can reduce the impact on the environment. We have been pursuing development of geothermal energy for several years. We are closer today than we were 15 years ago. But there is still some work to be done.
The government has already developed policies to encourage the use of renewable energy technologies and to encourage energy efficiency. The government has demonstrated leadership by the installation of energy-saving lamps as well as the use of solar systems in a few areas. The ambassador says one focal point will be on waste to energy.
We still believe that there is also an opportunity to recycle inorganic waste to reduce the pressure on our landfills, and in the same time allowing some economic benefit from that activity. And this is why SIDSDOC 2016, one of our main initiatives, is focusing on waste to energy projects. Last January we met in Grenada and we developed a Caribbean approach to waste to energy development projects. And in Dominica, we have already identified a few.
On Wednesday, the group will convene to discuss potential project ideas linking the energy sector to agriculture, waste, tourism, and fresh water. Meantime, GIS's Lorian Graham Carter spoke to Dominica's ambassador to the United Nations, His Excellency Dr. Vince Henderson, on one aspect of climate resilience that would be addressed during the 3-day workshop.
One of the topics that you spoke about was smart technology. Can you elaborate on that for a few minutes for us, please?
Well, clearly the impact of climate change is affecting us. In order to really deal with that, we have to, yes, first of all, build resilience. And building resilience simply means that we have to now build smarter. If we're building a bridge, as the example that I used earlier, we have to build a bridge that can withstand the impact of hydrometeorological events like Tropical Storm Erika. Therefore, bridges must be built in a manner, of course we've learned the lessons, and the engineers know better than me, but from where we stand, when we talk about resilience and building infrastructure that is smart and can resist the impact of climate change, we're talking about utilizing technologies from the design point, utilizing, of course, historical data, finding out what has happened in the past, and to be able to even use technology to determine the type of events that we may likely have. So that when you build, we're not building only on historical data, but also making projections, extrapolation from various points of data points to determine what you could likely face, and therefore building for that. It is more expensive, it is more costly. So building a bridge today is not like building a bridge 50 years ago. The type of design work that you need to do, the type of considerations that need to go into that design, and the construction method must all take into consideration the possible impact of climate change and major hydrometeorological events, rapid rainfall, especially in a place like Dominica, coming from the mountains, great speed, over short periods of time, as we saw with Tropical Storm Erika, and therefore would require that. So even construction of sea defense walls, we also have to bear in mind that we have to make provisions for the organisms that migrate back and forth in order to continue their survival, and we need them to survive because they also help to balance the ecosystem. So we have to take all of this learning into account, but also to make projections based on the data that we can access, and to make the best determinations and to design smarter so that we can withstand the impact of climate change. It will become worse, unfortunately, and therefore we have to prepare for that.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Ambassador.
The Dominica Labour Party administration's vision for the nation to be self-sufficient when it comes to poultry has begun to take shape. From Friday, April 15th, meat from the National Abattoir is now available at local supermarkets. GIS News spoke with operations manager of the National Abattoir, Michael Etienne, on Friday. He says slaughtering of the first 1,000 birds went exceptionally well.
This week, as the minister had promised, we said that we were going to start slaughtering. So on Tuesday, we slaughtered our first batch of 1,000 birds. This was done efficiently and smoothly. We have a team of well-trained butchers, and we went as far as training them in food safety and ensure that their food handlers permit were in order. And then we started the process on Tuesday, and it went very smoothly. We have now birds that are wholesome, of premium quality, a high standard, and best of all, processed at our own national abattoir.
The operations manager says the meat is available at local retail stores like Save-A-Lot, HHV Whitchurch, Miniers, and Lindomart. According to Etienne, it is now left to the population to decide to choose local and make a demand for local poultry, a product which he says is of far greater quality than what is imported.
We ensured from day one that we can produce for our people a better product as what's imported, a better wholesome product. That's why we have a holistic attitude towards the whole business of our processing facility. It's not just we are the facility doing what we want vi. We have a production team. We're in constant communication with our veterinarian team. We have the ministry. We have the Pierre. So we all collectively work together to bring you that wholesome chicken.
Currently, the chicken is sold as a whole. The operations manager says as long as there is a demand, the abattoir will add value to the product by providing chicken parts. As for a steady supply to the market, Etienne says the abattoir will have a constant supply of birds from livestock farmers. The first slaughtering of pork for the market will be done this week. The official opening of the abattoir will be held in the coming weeks. You're watching National Focus. More when we return.
I had a bleeding disorder that I did not know about, and they had to be transfusing me continuously. I got 56 units.
Being there at the blood bank, I was like, yo, I'm actually saving someone's life.
You never know when you can go.
Give blood. I have done it, and believe it or not, it don't hurt.
I won't be scared. I'll give. You know you're gonna give blood. I'll make sure she does.
Sit down at the blood bank in a comfortable environment for 45 minutes.
Helping people.
You are stimulating your body to make brand new cells.
You get free cookies, you get juice.
Glad to know your blood group. Feels good.
I felt as a better person.
It's a good thing to be alive, and I can thank God that I'm there and I'm enjoying life.
Welcome back. Pro-Vice Chancellor and Principal of the University of the West Indies Open Campus, Dr. Luce Longsworth, pledged the UWI Open Campus's commitment to working with the government and other sectors in Dominica. Dr. Longsworth, during her address at the 2016 Recognition of Graduates ceremony of the UWI Open Campus Dominica, made the vow to ensure that Dominica's enrollment rate in higher education increases rapidly.
We need to strengthen our partnerships with all of our other institutions in the region, and for that reason the UWI has indicated very clearly its willingness to partner with our community colleges to extend the possibility of community colleges becoming colleges of the University of the West Indies and being able to also offer full UWI programs. We recognize that we must join hands in order to get our countries out of the economic recession that we find ourselves into, and these are some of the efforts that we are making.
Dr. Longsworth made an appeal to funding agencies, banks, credit unions and others to support these students who wish to study in a non-traditional way.
We wish you to recognize that there are multiple points of payback. Our students who work and study are contributing tremendously to the development of their countries and are more likely to remain in the country than the students that we send out. At the Dominica site, we have currently over 300 students studying online and another 400 doing short courses. This is tremendous, and I wish to ask you to applaud the efforts and work of the site.
Dr. Longsworth was proud to announce a higher level of education that would be offered in Dominica soon.
And we are pleased that we also have enrolled persons from Dominica in our new doctoral program in education and educational leadership. So in a couple of years, we will see graduates from doctoral programs right here in Dominica.
The University of the West Indies Dominica Open Campus has produced over 200 degree programs from bachelor's to master's in the last 5 years.
Early childhood educators have continued training in the Principles of Child-Friendly Schools initiative. The Child-Friendly Schools initiative, funded by UNICEF, originally began in 2009. The program initially began its pilot program in 2009 with 10 primary schools, principals, and coaches from each district. The CFS initiative promotes a child-centered approach to learning and is concerned with the health, safety, security, nutritional status, and psychological well-being of the child, as well as teacher training and appropriateness of teaching methods and learning resources. It also focuses on behavioral management, practices in classrooms, the creation of classrooms that are learning ready, and systems that encourage the participation of all children. The most recent training engaged principals of primary schools and preschools.
We focus on the CFS, that is Child Friendly Schools Principles, PLES. Principles are being child-centered, inclusiveness, where every child is included in the teaching, learning, and then we try to have everything child-centered. And we want participation. We want every child to participate, to be actively involved.
Elma Williams was one of the facilitators of the workshop. When asked how the teachers were responding to the training, Williams replied that it was already practiced in a lot of schools and they were only reinforcing what they already practiced.
You go to some schools, you notice that there are rules, and the rules are no running, no fighting, no this and that. What we're trying to, CFS brings everything in a positive light. So instead of telling them no running, we'll tell them to say it in a positive way. You walk. You walk on this side instead of saying don't run or no running, no fighting. You keep your hands to yourself would be keep your hands and feet to yourself. So we do it based on what we call a matrix, and then we have expectations. In the expectations, there are certain expectations, there are certain what we call the rules. We take all these rules and we put them in, and there are different settings. So we'd have what we expect the child to, how we expect the child to behave on the playground, in the classroom, if he goes to the toilet, that he flushes after a thing, wipes his hands, instead of telling him don't open the pipe or don't do this or whatever. So everything is put in a positive way.
The program, which is being executed by the Ministry of Education, will continue this week with training for media practitioners on child protection measures. And that's the English segment of the news. McPherson St. Louis is up with Creole highlights.
Alors tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Non moins, c'est McPherson St. Louis. Premièrement, un workshop pour faire et puis énergie soutenable et puis ça fait changement climatique. Quand on place en Dominique Siemens-Salam, Premier ministre Honorable Dr. Roosevelt Skerritt, Chairman Sid's Dog, Ambassador Dr. Vince Henderson, Ambassador Sweden pour Dominique His Excellency Klaus Hammer, pays qui a supporté workshop là, Ministre Énergie Honorable Ian Douglas et puis coordinateur Sid's Dog Dr. Al Binger, tout délivré l'adresse pour ouvrir workshop là, qui a en place en State House en Warsaw. Selon Chairman Sid's Dog, Dr. Vince Henderson, ça fait changement climatique et puis énergie soutenable autant important pour le développement en nous, raison pour workshop là.
Aujourd'hui là, nous commençons un workshop pour tout le monde qui n'y bagaille pour faire avec énergie, avec zordi, avec climate change. So ça nous fait, c'est nous garder manière nous ça fait qu'on nous plus fort pour les nous ni bagay ko Erika. Parce que nous ça climate change qu'a fait nous qui ni plus comme hurricane, storm, flood, Erika. Eh bien, nous pour construire, nous pour servir technologie, nous pour faire tout ça, nous ça fait pour faire certain, nous ça potager moun et vers bagay nous, horde, storm Erika.
Ambassadeur Henderson a créé pour nous dépendre moins assez fossiles fuel et puis développer énergie naturelle pour nous ça servir.
Mais nous aussi, nous pour garder pour manière, nous ça sorti dépendance, nous dépendons trop assez bagay comme fossil fuel. Ça y est, comme bagay comme diesel, gasoline, bagay comme ça. Et bien ça nous qu'a fait, nous voulons faire, c'est garder manière nous ça servir bagay nature, bagay comme soleil, comme vent, glow, hydro comme nous déjà ni Dominica, geothermal. Eh bien, comment nous ça servi ça pour nous faire énergie, pour nous pas ni pour dépendre assez bagaille qu'on diesel avec gasoline dans l'autre pays, et bien nous pas pour servir ça pour faire énergie. Et bien juste LPG, nous ça produit methane, horde bagaille qu'on abattoir là. Dans un abattoir là, où qu'a fait tout bagaille ça là avec toutes ces bagaille avec cochon avec comment dit ça pour lever ces bagailles ça là au Kenya on partit l'obité on pour faire avec nous ça pour ça avec nous ça fait methane nous ça fait énergie avec nous ça nettoyer environnement là so nous aller landfill là nous ça point zodi landfill avec nous ça fait énergie avec nous can nettoyer place là so ça nous qu'a fait pour semaine là 3 jours semaine ça là nous ni le monde différents ministères différents départements et ben nous ca discuter ça pour faire ça nous ça fait pour dormir.
Et puis finalement projet abattoir qui a fonctionné où là yo ouvert ka chaîne production poule et puis cochon. C'est le manager Michael Etienne public là qui a encouragé pour produire produits au supermarché tout en pays là.
Ça m'a voulu dire Pierre, c'est ça. Ça, le gouvernement a dit, nous avons commencé l'abattoir avec, nous avons commencé à tuer pour l'abattoir, nous avons fait ça avec toutes ces viandes pour là, nous avons mis dans ces supermarchés là aux eaux. Nous sommes allés à Sevalot, Whitchurch, Lindomat, Astafans, avec eux, ça accommodé, nous avons là pour ces pour là, nous avons fait bayo à l'abattoir, nous fait certain. Tous ces gens qui travaillent là, ils prennent toutes ces trainings là, food safety, handlers permit, pour faire certain, c'est pour là, ces viandes là, nous voyez à supermarché là, c'est top quality. Yon bite nous pas les faire, c'est prendre West Coast Sab nous avec faire pas point sérieux. So nous faire certain ça avant nous ouvrir l'abattoir, nous faire certain, nous faire tout ça nous devons faire. So nous avons créé Dominica pour aller à ce market là avec demander ces gens là où les gains en poule qui sorti à l'abattoir. Ça c'est pas abattoir moins, ça c'est pas abattoir gouvernement, ça c'est l'abattoir pour tout le monde Dominique. So tout le monde Dominique nous venir ensemble et faire certains abattoirs ça successful.
Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelle en créole pour à présent. Non, moi c'est McPherson Luce. Au revoir.
Your tip of the day is next.
In today's tip, we'll discuss how you can develop self-confidence. Too often we get caught up in our own desires. We focus too much on ourselves and not enough on the needs of other people. Stop thinking only about yourself.
If you concentrate on the contribution you're making to the rest of the world, you won't worry as much about your own flaws. This will increase self-confidence and allow you to contribute with maximum efficiency. The more you contribute to the world, the more you'll be rewarded with personal success and recognition. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm.
Like our Facebook page, facebook.com/GIS News Dominica, and follow our Twitter at GIS Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. Live streaming is also available 24 hours a day. From all of us here on the news production team, I'm Mervin Matthew.
And I'm Shaakira Pierre. Thanks for watching and join us again next time on National Focus.